When most people come into Dragon Ball card collecting, the very first question they ask is, what card should I buy? I think that's the wrong question to ask. The better question is, what type of collector are you? Because once you know that, it's easy to start. Before I get started, most of the cards that I'm going to be showing today is going to be from both Fusion World and also Masters. I'm going to go over 7 categories, and the first one that I'm going to start with is booster cards. So everybody's going to try to buy the booster boxes and these blister packs that are available for Dragon Ball Super or trading card games such as Fusion World and Masters. And here is just a few examples of some hits from some Fusion World booster boxes. But here is going to be some different rarities. So as you can see, we have an SR Alt Art here. And then we're going to have a leader card. And then we're going to have an SCR Alt Art or 1-star Vegeta here. So I don't have a 2-star on me. It's funny because I actually sold my 2-star. But I'm going to place an example on the screen here. But these are the type of hits that you can get from boosters. Now, many people love the experience of being able to rip a booster box, which usually has 24 packs. And so if that's the type of collector that you are and you just want to go straight for boosters, you want that top chase, there's all kinds of different rarities out there that you're able to hit from different booster boxes. Now here is some other examples of some Masters hits right here. So this one's going to be an SLR or leader. So this is the leader front right here, and it is going to be the leader back with all that shiny stuff. So if this is the stuff that you want and that you like, you can go for that. Here is a secret rare SCR Vegeta from History of Z booster box. So these are just other booster box examples. I just really wanted to show you what Masters looks like here. So these are all booster hits that you're able to attain or able to hit if you guys go for those boosters. So, but yeah, just a little bit of an example there. But that was boosters. Everybody is most likely gonna try to go for that. So if you're that type of collector, that might be one lane that you want to be on and just be the booster box or booster guy, right? That's what you want, and that's what you want to be able to chase. You want the 2 stars, then that's your gig. Now the second one that I'm going to go over is going to be starter decks. Now starter decks, as you know, this is a card game, and there's going to be some starter decks that people use for them to play in tournaments. And like I said, I am going to cover mostly Masters and Fusion World. But for example, so here is 2 starter decks, and you have one right here with Majin Vegeta, Proud Warrior starter deck, and that says ST22. And then there's this one right here is going to be the FS09, and this is a Fusion World product. So FS09 will have a starter deck or a deck that's sealed inside, and then it'll have some type of extra bonus cards. Just make sure that you guys always read the back of the box right here, so it'll tell you exactly what's in the box. See the card there, you can see Majin Vegeta. I do have it somewhere in my binder, but I just wanted to show you. So that's going to be one of the main cards here. I believe that's going to be a leader card. So that is a leader card included in the deck. And then I want to show you guys one of the FS09 starter deck. Actually, I have a sealed one right here. So actually kind of sealed because it's a little bit ripped right here. Oh no. Hopefully it doesn't open up. But as you can see, this is Shallot. So that is one of the characters that is made up for Dragon Ball Legends, which is an app. So this is an online game as well, an app that you can download and you can play online. But this is also used, or a starter deck that is used in playing tournaments. I haven't really played tournaments myself. I've only played online. There's a whole different app for Fusion World where you're able to play online against other players, but I was terrible at it. So but speaking of bonus packs, And remember, we're still on starter decks. I do want to show you guys some examples. I think I did have something open here, but inside that deck that I just showed you guys, these are some of the cards that you guys are able to get. So like take a look at that card right there. That's a really nice Cell. You got that Goku, and there's gonna be a bunch of dupes inside these decks. You got Nappa right there. Like, look at all these cards. And this is a really, really beautiful card. This is actually Giblet. So this is from FS10. This is the other starter deck. So I don't know what it's even doing there. But look at this FS09 starter deck card. And this is not even the alt art. This is just a common card. But it's really, really nice. I'm actually going to take it out so you guys are able to just kind of take a look. But there's not a lot of texture on them. But they're a little flat, but of course there is an alt art version of this card. Once again, I do have it somewhere in my binder, but I do want to show you one alt art from the bonus packs. It's a Majin Vegeta, and here it is. So this is an alt art from FS09. It has all the gold stamped and the texture and all that good stuff, and you'll see on the bottom right hand corner it has a star. So that is a possibility of you hitting this card from the starter deck. If starter deck is your thing, you're thinking about playing these tournaments, it does look like that might be a lane for you to follow. So for me, I collect a little bit of everything. So you know, I'm just kind of showing you guys a little bit of what I do have. So now number 3, we're going to go and cover promo cards. There are so many promo cards out there is insane. The amount of promo cards out there, I just can't even keep up. There's a lot of cards that I'm still discovering till this day. And I'm pretty good at researching and going through lists and finding cards and card lists. And by the way, speaking of card lists, in the description below, I'm going to place some links where you guys are able to go and find some of these cards. You can type in names or the card numbers and it'll tell you, and it'll populate a list for you. And that's part of collecting, is knowing what's out there. So that's going to be the biggest responsibility that you have as a new collector, is doing the research, because you can try and ask a lot of people like, hey, what do I collect? What do I collect? Which is, I think, the wrong question. Is what type of collector are you? And that's why I wanted to make this video, so you can have a better time and an easier time for you to start your collection, and you don't feel so overwhelmed when you first start. Here is some examples of some Fusion World and Master promo cards. Now there is all kinds of promo cards, and these are actually, so this one is a Masters promo card, and this is a winner promo card, tournament promo card right here. There is a set of different winner cards, and this one was the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. This is one of my favorites, and as you can see, I am mostly a Vegeta fan. I do collect some Vegeta occasionally, but this middle one, this is gonna be, I believe, a Masters finalist promo card. I can't remember what year. I think it might have been 2024, I believe. But this one's a Vegito, and this is such a beautiful card. But they are sealed. They come in sealed packs, and you just don't know what you're gonna hit. Now, I want to cover something about these packs in general, because, like, for example, starter decks and boosters, and I made a video about this, of where can you buy some of these products, and I made a video about that in the past, so you can click on somewhere around the screen and you'll see that video, and it'll show you where to buy some of these packs. But these are more special packs. So for example, this one is another promo card for a tournament. This is Majin Vegeta. I'm actually chasing a finalist one. I haven't found one yet. I've seen one, but it's a little too expensive. I think it's a little too overpriced. But I will say that these are some really cool cards, because they're some tournament promo cards. There's all kinds of other promo cards out there. There's some flat foil ones. There's some foil with some texture on it. There's some foil with some texture and all the bells and whistles. Like this one, personally, I think it has all of it. This is from Masters, but there is all kinds of things going on for this one in Masters. And then of course this one being another promo card or a tournament card tournament promo card from Majin Vegeta here, and this one is gonna be it says PR on the bottom. Actually, it says promo alt art, and then even though this one is an SR, so this one is gonna be a tournament finalist promo card because it's not technically the championship or first place or second place cards. These are just promo cards that will have the art from the finalists or the championship cards. So the next one that we're going to talk about is going to be championship cards. Now, I don't have a championship card myself because I don't play the game. I haven't really acquired any of those cards yet. Some collectors just love the first place, second place, third place cards. I'm going to show some examples here of both Fusion World and Masters, so that way you can get an idea of what these cards look like. But I want to talk about some that I believe a lot of people don't really know about, and which is the gold ones and the silver ones. And so a lot of these silver, all silver cards, some of them are leader backs, leader fronts, and they do have art on both sides, and they're all silver. These are really, really nice cards. They're really hard to come by. Only a few collectors, and I've seen them. I follow a few people that do have some of these cards in their collection, so it is possible. And you know what? You might want to be that collector that is into just tournament cards. Maybe you just want to be the, I want to have all these tournament promo cards, and I want to have all the first and the second and the third place cards, or any of those cards from Fusion World or Masters, and you just want to be that collector. Go for it. You know, that's the lane you want to be in. I will say that, you know, as far as pricing goes, they are a little bit up there, and which is interesting because a lot of those silver cards or a lot of those tournament winner cards, there is a lot of, not debate, but there is a lack of knowledge of those cards because people don't understand how truly special and rare they are, because there's not a lot of them in the world. And so it's interesting because, for like, as you guys know, everybody's like pushing energy markers, and then you have all these market watchers, you know, just watching these energy markers. But there's all these other cards that are a lot more rare, but they haven't really moved in price over the years, which is insane because a lot of those cards are really, really rare. There's only maybe 6 of those or 10 of those, or I don't know, 20 of those in the whole world ever printed, but they still get treated way less than an energy marker, you know, from Dragon Ball manga series or a gold series, and it sells for over 40 grand, which is crazy because there is a lot of other more rare cards, but you know, the market's gonna do what it's gonna do. There's gonna be market pumpers, and there's gonna be all kinds of different people coming into the space and just kind of taking advantage of Dragon Ball. And anyways, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but tournament or championship cards are very undervalued, and they don't get the respect that they deserve. There is people that are holding those cards, but you know, it's just crazy to me because a lot of those cards have beautiful art. It does have very special features on them. They do look different than any other cards out there in the market. Not every collector is trying to go after those, so I can understand like how maybe you might not want to chase those. Maybe you are more into the booster stuff, or maybe the starter deck stuff that I've been talking about, or even these promos that I talked about earlier. Maybe you're more into that stuff, and maybe that stuff is easier on your pocket. So number 5, I'm going to talk about special products and anniversary boxes. So Dragon Ball Super, or Masters, and Fusion World both have released anniversary boxes, and not only that, they release all kinds of other different boxes like draft boxes, or they even have these pre-release cards as well. So I want to show you guys just a quick example, and I think this is kind of like more like in the special category because these are release event cards. I guess they're technically, promo cards, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys this manga card right here. So, for example, this Vegeta card, if you guys can see, it has a gold stamp and it says release event on the card. So this one is gonna be, in my opinion, like in that category, like special products, because it is a release event or pre-release event card. But this is a manga series or release event card from the manga booster on Fusion World, and it does have that release event gold stamp at the bottom there, if you guys can see, right above where it says Vegeta in gold. And then it has like a gold stamp all around, but that's Fusion World. And then this one is a pre-release from Masters, and this one is going to be a leader back or leader front. So as you guys can see, this is Vegeta, and this is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But if you guys look at the stamp, it does say pre-release event or pre-release card. There's a gold stamp there. So these do come in special packs as well. So these will be in single packs. There's also, I forgot to mention, there's all kinds of other cards like judge event cards, judge tournament cards, and I guess those are part of the tournament cards, and I should have added those on the tournament. There is some type of anniversary box that gets launched, and so for example, like this one right here, I'm going to show you guys a couple of SLRs. So these leaders didn't come from a booster, actually. They came from an anniversary box. So that's the leader back, and then this is the leader front. So as you guys can see, I mean, once again, I am a Vegeta fan, so I'm going to collect the leader cards that do come in these anniversary boxes. So this one, I believe this is the one. So this leader card or SLR from Masters came from this 2024 anniversary box, and it looks just like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it on the screen so you guys can see it. But it's a box that looks just like this, and it came with a deck. There was some different leader cards that were sealed in one, and I believe there was either 7 or 8 leaders in them. I can't remember, but I just kept the Vegeta one. And there's all kinds of other cards in there. Let me show you guys another kind of one of those gold stamps that came in on some of these Masters anniversary boxes. But here's one right here. So as you can see, this is the gold stamp with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. So there's a bunch of duplicates inside the box that came with, you know, the deck, and also it comes with sleeves inside, and those are also random. And then there's a possibility to hit an alternate art card. And I'm gonna actually, and like I said, this is from Masters, but specifically this box, and I remember I was chasing this Goku for a while. So I'm gonna place the EX here and then the alternate version on this side. But as you can see, this is the chase. It's such a beautiful card. It is really hard to hit, but it's a possibility to hit that in one of those anniversary boxes. So I think that's what's cool about anniversary boxes, that you're able to get this alternate art card, but it's not guaranteed, of course. But as far as the SLRs, the sleeves are actually different, so you might hit a different type of art on the sleeves. There is also other anniversary boxes for Fusion World, and I'm going to put those up on the screen. These are just some of the examples that you're able to acquire from Fusion World, but I just showed you Masters. So another product that I want to talk about is these boxes called draft boxes from Masters. So there's one called a draft box, and in the draft box you're able to get like a card like this, and this is a promo card. But the draft box does have a bunch of different cards inside, and this is one of them right here. So this is another leader card, and it has Majin Vegeta there. This is a really, really nice card, but this is just an example. Another card that I just thought it was interesting, and besides draft boxes, once again, we're talking about Masters here. So this one came from the history of Vegeta. There's a box just for Vegeta that has the history of him. I'm going to place the photo on the screen of what that box looks like. but there are a bunch of duplicate cards that you're able to get. So yeah, so these are some of those special boxes, anniversary boxes, special cards, and I do kind of categorize a lot of these cards under the, I guess, like special and type of anniversary boxes. So there's all kinds of cards that you guys are able to get in your collection, and these are just a bunch of different ones from Masters and also Fusion World. So let's move over to number 6. So number 6 is gonna be character collecting. Let's just say that you don't want to go this route of, oh, I just don't want to go for starter decks, or I don't want to go for just promo cards, or I just want a little bit of everything, but I just want to chase one character. I found that chasing one character is really fun. In the beginning, I was just kind of opening up different things like starter decks and booster boxes, and I think at first it was okay, but then I realized later on that I kind of lost some passion from different cards because I wasn't too into them until I really started boiling it down to my favorite character, which is Vegeta. And I started getting all kinds of different cards like Boo cards, Cell cards, and maybe you're watching this video and you love Cell, or you just a Goku fan, you know, you just love Goku. Maybe you just want to chase, you know, just Goku himself. You don't want to chase Vegeta. You don't want anything to do with anybody else or any other character, and that's all you're going to get. So in my experience in the past couple of years, just chasing Vegeta has also made it fun because in Fusion World, I feel like Vegeta doesn't get too much respect. And in a way, I kind of started... in a way, I didn't really appreciate Fusion World not giving Vegeta too much love. But at the same time, it was actually easier on my pocket. And I felt like every time the Vegeta would be announced, I was excited about it, because if there's just 1 or 2, maybe 3 cards from that booster that only has Vegeta, maybe there's only 3 Vegetas in that whole booster. At first, I was kind of mad about it, but then I'm like, you know what? It's actually okay, because it gives me time to go through Masters and kind of like really dig into other Vegeta cards. So boiling down to one character just might be your thing. Maybe you don't want to go and chase and buy every single booster box out there, but maybe you just want to identify that only certain boxes gave a lot of love to your character. Now, if you're a Goku or a Gogeta fan, I'm sorry, but you're screwed, because let's be real. I mean, Gogeta and Goku are the most popular characters, and most likely it's gonna be in every single booster box out there. So if you're a Gogeta fan or Goku fan, I mean, you're done. You're cooked. Let's say your favorite character, and you know what, guys? I've met a lot of collectors in the Dragon Ball space that don't collect any other character. Maybe they're just into Cell. They just want Cell cards. So guess what? For example, this year they just came out with a new 2-star Cell. So this might be your year, right? And in a way, at first I was kind of hating the fact that Majin Vegeta wasn't getting the love that it deserves, but at the same time, it's actually good, because then when he does come out, right, or he does launch as a 2-star or a 1-star at least, you know, I will be excited about it, and that will be a new chase for me. But for example, like even in FB09, there was a lot of people who was like, oh, Gogeta, 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 but at some point it's just too much Gogeta, and I can't. And hey, if you don't like what I just said, that's totally fine. I guess if you are a Gogeta fan, you're gonna collect everything Gogeta, but I just felt like they overdid it in FB09. It was just too much Gogeta. Gogeta SR, Gogeta 2-star, Gogeta 2-star times 3, Gogeta this, Gogeta that. There was just so much Gogeta on energy markers, Gogeta on this, Gogeta on that. So everybody got cooked this year, you know, when it comes to collecting Gogeta cards, because there was just so many Gogeta to chase. And it's always going to be one of those favorite characters that Gogeta is always going to be in some kind of deck or one of the boosters. Boiling it down to one character is actually fun. So at number 7 is going to be vintage Dragon Ball cards. So maybe you don't want to mess with all these new boxes or these anniversary boxes. You don't even want to go for any of these other booster cards or SERs. Maybe you want to get into scorecards. Maybe you want to get into Panini or GT or Cardas, like I said, or Armada cards. And I'm going to play some examples, but I actually have done a video about different cards that you can chase, and I'm going to place a card somewhere on my list. And that allows you to really take your time, because it's going to take a long time for you to start collecting vintage, because there's not a lot of minty copies out there. But the chase is what's good about card collecting. It's not about actually acquiring the card. It's actually the chase, and the chase of finally finding that card, the chase of finally finding that character that you really like, or maybe it's that old starter deck of your favorite character in vintage form, and you were able to find that card. So I kind of really wanted to end with vintage, because vintage is gonna be its own beast. If you are ever interested in finding out more about Dragon Ball cards, there are going to be some videos around me. You can click on one of those and you can start finding out what's vintage or what's out there with Dragon Ball cards. And I've also mentioned in a lot of my other videos of how to find those cards. So if you guys do see that video around my screen, make sure to click on one of those. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.